And we are live. Welcome back to the Wanna Parlay podcast. I'm Lance Bell. Next to me is Jack Neuheisel. Jack, go ahead and tell the folks about the wonderful people that sponsor this podcast.
Lanny, it's good to be back with you on this January 6th, back on the Wanna Parlay podcast. People, you guessed it, the Wanna Parlay podcast is in fact brought to you by Wanna Parlay, home of the $2 parlay and the world's richest parlay, where every day people are turning $2 into $2,000 and walking out the door. Quick reminder, good people of California, we've got players on this page who are going over $20K in earnings. You've got 2 more weeks of college football, 1 more month of the NFL. You got to get over to wana.com right now and make your account. It is the only place in the state of California where you can legally bet and win on spreads, money lines, and over-unders. The first week of WANA 2025 is officially in the books, and there were plenty of winners to celebrate, Lance. Tons of special shout-outs to hand out today. As always, we start with the Pick'ems, Pick 7. Who else? Dial Picks. 777, now up to 21 grand after that 777. Absolutely unreal. Will anybody ever catch this guy, or is that just is he just blazed too far out in front?
Right now, he's Wilt Chamberlain of the NBA timeline. He's someone I don't think we'll ever see anything like.
Pick 6, JD Vice K wins 250. Long Legs sneaks in there and wins 450 as well. Congrats to Long Legs. Get hot, kid. Pick 5. Toman 27. We're excited to have him on the show later today. He ends up winning some good money. 500 in the pick 5. He's going to win some more money later on. Worth mentioning, Dial Picks cleans up 425 in that contest as well. The guy just keeps rolling. People, I implore you, go over to that guy's account on Wanna Parlay, get on the app and check out what he's doing. Tail it. It just keeps winning money. The pick 4, CJ Sun 21 wins 200. Kendall Jane 6 also wins 175. Congrats to both of them. Parlay Royale. Long Legs, I told you we'd be back hearing about her. Wins 1,000. Dial Picks also wins there. That takes him over 22K in all-time earnings. Jeez. Oh, my God. Toman 27 also wins 500. That gives him 1,000 on the weekend. Excited to talk to Thomas. Lance, do me a favor and keep eyes in that waiting room, too, if he hops in there, so we can make sure we get to talk to him. Main event, East Sunny 22, go home with the big prize this week, 2K. We're hoping to get him on the show later this week to talk about it. And then before we get on with the rest of the program, we got a special, I can't talk today, Lance. You're going to have to do some heavy lifting. Special message from our guy KG at Little Joe's in Chicago. We are about 1 month away from the drop takeover at Little Joe's in Chicago. It is back and bigger than ever. Arthur and Bob are behind the bar, pouring drinks and swapping stories. KG in the kitchen, whipping up his famous jambalaya beef sandwiches and those insane Taylor Street sliders that has ground Italian sausage topped with Italian beef. Jesus Christmas, get hot over there, KG. El Bandito Tequila will be in the building, as well the good folks of Wanna Parlay. It's happening February 10th from 4 p.m. to 2 a.m. If you're in the Chicago area or possibly just in the continental United States at all, get your ass over there, download Wanna Parlay, win some money, drink some tequila, have a slider, 9 of them. Lance, that's something we should look into booking flights for, man.
100%. KG Little Joe's. The Taylor Street ciders are what, or sliders are what is getting me fired up. Ground Italian sausage topped with Italian beef. I don't know anything about that world, but I want to know more because that sounds delicious.
That's Chicago world. So you got to go, and I'd kind of be down to go in the winter. Everyone advises you to go in the summer. We got to go just get in winter coats, get elbow to elbow in the bar and get nuts.
Oh, man, that sounds like an incredible, incredible time. Man, Jack, tough week. Week 18 in the NFL is not nice to anybody.
Well, you had a hot Saturday. I was tailing you all day Sunday because of it. You did well to start the week.
No, Saturday I got fleeced.
I thought you went 2-0 on Saturday. That was the Ravens game?
No, Bengals don't cover. 17-19, Jack.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. You hit the Ravens game. I thought you hit both. I just figured, oh, my God.
Well, we're already talking about it, so I'll just hop in and get it over with because I went 1-4. It was week 18. I'm not that, hurt. It's tough to bet on, but yeah, no, Ravens -20, the huge spread. Thank you, big fella, for that just incredible interception. His fall at the end there, I thought he broke his back, but it was a little scary looking. But hey, big fella, way to be you. Bengals -2.5, Jack. The Bengals should have lost the game. I was so angry with how they ended the game from late in the third quarter till the end of the game. They played scared. I don't like that out of Zach Taylor. And it's like you have Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, the two best, play the game. Stop running the ball to what's his name? Herbert. This Herbert guy's not going to get it done. Get the first downs. Keep playing catch, but they just got away from it, and they deserved to lose the game. I thought they deserved to lose the game, but moving on. Vikings money line. Yeah, this was tough because, my God, how many times can you go into the red zone and just look so pathetic? This game was so much closer than what the score gave because they were there like 4 or 5 times in the red zone. Just can't get it done over and over again. Tough loss. Vikings rest in piss. I can't wait for you to lose to the Rams next Monday night. I probably will be at that game. Still thinking about it, but yeah, Vikings, you're pathetic. Bucks minus 14 versus Saints. This was tough. This is one of those games where the Saints have pride. Kudos to them. It's a divisional opponent. They still wanted to fight. They played hard, and Tampa came out, a little soft, and they kind of got it together and still won the game, but did not cover the points. And then last but not least, Packers minus 10 at Bears. Jordan Love getting hurt did not help my cause here, but this was the Bears Super Bowl. They fought like hell. They've been losing to the Pack. Their losing streak to the Packers, I think, has gone on. It might have been 2018. Like, this was years of just straight losing to the Packers. They were fired up. Santos, his little celebration, running around a little fucking dork when he hit the game-winning field goal. Good for him. I mean, I was stoked. But obviously not stoked to lose the minus 10.
I was in on Santos. I love that. Awesome.
Him running around, he's just doing the little, I was fired. Yeah. Hey, why not? It's passion. Love the game. Love the game you play.
The benefit of hindsight, I guess it was the perfect narrative for the Bears to get behind and actually play tough that day. What a mistake, though. What a mistake for them to win that game. They're going to end up sliding 5 spots in the draft. Bad move. Bad move. Bucks minus 14 versus the Saints. Shocked they honestly stayed alive in that game. That was the worst played game. They dropped the punter drops the punt. They muff it left and right. Rattler in the first half was getting everything he wanted. The Bucks secondary looked like they had problems. So cool for Mike Evans at the end, but bummer. Obviously, we don't cover the 14. I did get some live action on 7.5, so I was glad to see that thing cover. Vikings money line, I felt great about all the way until an hour before kick. And the fact that line stayed so heavy Lions the whole way, all of a sudden they got a little bit nervous. Good news for the Vikings. That's not the game you want to win. The next one is, but bad news is you're getting the Rams, who's the last team I'd want to play in the NFC right now. You get them back at home. Kevin O'Connell's a Sean McVay kind of guy. It's going to be a very good game. I will be hammering the over and likely the Rams. Likely taking the Rammies on that guy. Bengals, not a team. I mean, honestly, they win the game. They gave themselves a chance, but not a team that deserved to go to the playoffs, and none more evident than late in the third and that fourth quarter. I agree. By the way, they fired their defensive coordinator. I hate the move. Defense is obviously trash all year, but it was a personnel issue. It wasn't a scheme issue. If you go back, they played tough. He's played the best against Patrick Mahomes of any defense ever. It's the one team that gives the Chiefs trouble on that side of the ball. You're going to fire that guy. If I'm the Bills, I know Sean McDermott's a defensive guy, but I go get that guy in the building immediately because every path is going through Kansas City for the foreseeable future. Ravens, easy. Congratulations. DTR, we talked about it. My man is having a good, tough go at it right now. Interested to see Kevin Stefanski fires his offensive coordinator, but he retains his job. So it'll be interesting to see possibly Tommy Reese gets that job, a guy already in the building. Be interesting. We'll see who ends up being the headband of the O over there. My accountability hour, I'm excited to get to because I did okay. Minnesota, I cleaned up on everything. We get Minnesota minus 10. Tech played them tough early, and then Minnesota just rolled. If there was one guy that was going to get covered in mayonnaise this season, it was going to be PJ Fleck. He's got the perfect bald head for it. We also hit that under 42.5. Both teams, we nailed it. They just live and die by their defenses, not very explosive. Got lucky a little bit in a couple red zones, a couple fourth down efforts, but under the 42.5 covers pretty easy at the 34. I advised everybody because the 10 seemed big on a game we were going under, that if you were afraid of it, just go ahead and take the money line and parlay it with the under. Had you done so, that would have hit. So I'm giving myself the point for that bet as well. And then Liberty money line versus Buffalo. That thing was over before it even started. Dear Lord. Liberty had no place in that game. The backup quarterback couldn't play. Buffalo looked pretty good. bad idea. Trying to play the narrative and just say it's a fun bowl. The fun team's going to win. Bad call.
Hey,
Congratulations, Bulls.
The accountability hour for you, that was good. I will say I didn't see the Liberty game at all, really. I just saw like the final score, and I saw it was like 26-7. I was just like, ooh, fuck. That's just tough.
Earlier in the week, I nailed something. I got, and then I hit the Minnesota part of it. Knew I was going to because I just had Minnesota money line. And so I was looking for a little sweetener to add on the back end of that parlay to just juice the odds and have some fun with. And I figured Liberty Buffalo, that's as good as a pick 'em. And I talked myself into it on stupid logic. But nonetheless, we soldier on.
Hey, it could have been a lot worse. But
how's our waiting room doing? Is our guy Thomas in town yet?
Nothing in the waiting room. I will keep you updated on that. So there goes accountability hour. I went 1-4. You went 3-1. Yeah, you went 3-1 because the parlay that counts and you cashed it. Moving on though to other topics. I got a couple NBA things I want to throw at you, and I just want to hear what you think.
Please, while you introduce them, I'm just gonna check my text, make sure this guy's not having issues.
Yeah, no, all good. So the recent reports, Jimmy Butler wants out of Miami. He's been suspended for 7 games by the team for actions being detrimental to the team. They're currently 17-16 on the road tonight versus the Kings. What do you think Miami does here? Who do you think the suitors are? Do you see Jimmy Butler? I mean, he's a 34-year-old diva. How much value does he have? Tell me your thoughts. What are you thinking around this whole situation?
So I've got a couple thoughts here, and I want to make sure that they all exist independently. There's not like a but coming here. They're non-binary, multiple things exist at once. Jimmy Butler, in the last 15 years, has been one of my favorite NBA players. Playoff Jimmy has been sick. I think, one different shot goes differently from Kawhi in that deal, and everything plays out the way it does with the injuries. The Sixers win that, and Jimmy gets himself a championship in that run with Philly. So love me some Jimmy Butler. And this has been basically going on for like the past month since he started putting the murmurs out in press conferences. I think Pat Riley then came out and said, just to be clear, this is detrimental to the team, but because I have to say something on it, we're not trading Jimmy Butler. I heard Nick Wright go on a show and basically explain the timeline of this all, that Jimmy's entering a contract year. And as a 34-year-old guy, but you've got all the examples of the LeBrons and Kevin Durant's and Steph's playing well into their late 30s here. Jimmy thinks he's going to get one more big-time contract. And his current role in the Miami system is not giving him the numbers to warrant a big-time deal. He's more now going to get put to that kind of role that he doesn't want, where he's like the number 3 and he's title chasing. Like, this is where you get signed to like the Warriors and you're off the bench or something like that. I don't think that's what he's looking for. So what he's desperate for is an opportunity to go be a guy, flash a little bit, and get himself an opportunity at a big-time contract. In the meantime, this is so indicative of just the NBA culture altogether and why it's becoming so hard as fans to wrap our arms around it. This is the Real Housewives of the NBA. Could you imagine this happening in football? I mean, I remember like the only equivalency we have in the NFL are guys that hold out through camp, which fair dues. You're in the middle of a contract negotiation, fair dues. This is not this. This is, I'm in the middle of a shitty situation according to me, and I'm pulling the ripcord regardless of who it touches and who it affects. That sucks. That's not something, because generally speaking, who else is that available to in society, right? You can't just quit. You just be like, demand, I want different job placement here. I'm not loving the vibes of the culture. I hate the water cooler guys. I hate the fucking bowling night. I hated everything. I want out. That's not available to the common man. So all of us look at this and just go, shut the fuck up. You live in South Beach. You get paid millions and millions of dollars to play basketball. Just go fucking play it. Miami's going to make the playoffs if you just fucking buy in. You guys got a decent little roster. The East is wide open. What's the problem?
Yeah, no, I mean, you said it great. You don't see this nearly as often in other sports, especially the NFL. The only guy I could think of recently, like, would you say Odell Beckham when he was on the Browns and wanted out or something like that? But this situation is just so much different, so you can't even really compare it. But another thing, Pat Riley is starting to show he doesn't really he doesn't have personal relationships in basketball. He's a real like, End of D Wade's career, he paid Hassan Whiteside $100 million. The end of LeBron's contract, when he wanted his say, he said, all right, you're done. He goes back to Cleveland and just moved on from him. So Pat Riley's a gnarly real-time GM. So I don't even know what to think of it. I don't know what value Butler has. Like, if you're a team, and I've heard rumblings about Suns, but what do you get? Beal? Do you want that? Do you want to eat that contract? That doesn't make sense to me. I've heard Grizzlies, but what the Grizzlies want to give up? That could be cool, but it's like, what do these teams want to give up for Jimmy Butler?
It's all interesting. I'm begging the Lakers don't go anywhere near it. Rob Pelinka hasn't in the past dabbled anywhere with this stuff, so I hope they don't and feel good. Yeah, it's fascinating, especially because everyone that you consider as a title chaser feels like this is not the piece that's going to get him there. Yeah. Nor is it kind of indicative of the new NBA where you don't really need the slasher three. You want 3 and D guys, then you need either guards or fours that can win with size and all that stuff. So it's interesting. A guy that went to 2 finals in the last 3 years isn't going to have a lot of suitors. But I don't know. Is this something that the freak show Suns go after?
And that's honestly who I'm bringing up next. Nurkic and Beal have been benched over tensions within the team, kind of in trade talks and all that stuff. They're 15 and 18 right now, Jack. Suns are a little bit in shambles. They're out of the play-in as we speak. What do you think? Just give me one thought or one idea what they should do moving forward.
The whole thing's a bummer. And again, it's just so the NBA because they were a great team. I loved and got really excited about my brother and dad. And you and me know a lot of Suns fans. And that team that was Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, and Ayton was there. They were up 2-0 in the finals against the Bucks. And then from there, with the new ownership, started fucking around. They bring in Kevin Durant. They lose all the pieces. Then they decide it's got to be super team. And it hasn't come close to looking like it's going to work. It hasn't come close.
So I got a question. Is the only 2 successful super teams ever the Miami Heat and the Golden State Warriors?
Well, it depends on what you view it as, right? Like, is it one that, like, we go back and view it as a super team, right? Like the Lakers with Shaq and Kobe. Was that kind of super teamy or no? Because it was a little bit more homegrown.
I think I'd say more in the first free agent super team is the LeBron. He changed the landscape of being able to leave a team and join up. He changed that. So I'd start there.
The Nuggets obviously are not super teams.
No, they're homegrown. They're a little bit.
Yeah. So Warriors with Kevin Durant. Would you say that's a super team?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's one that worked. Now it's unique. It's got an asterisk next to it because
it was homegrown with a championship and it just joined. Right. Yeah, so it's
right.
But you look at the other ones, like remember the Nets with KD, Harden, Kyrie. I mean, that was pathetic. Now we're seeing the Suns with KD, and I'm not trying to point out KD like he's the problem. I mean, KD's one of the all-time greats. So I just think we're starting to learn that you can't just buy the team. You can't just spend a lot of money on players and win championships. That's just not the method.
Yeah, it's just that, like, honestly, just having a number 1 star right now is just a bad way to win. Like, if we go back through the teams that have been winning recently, the Celtics share. Yeah. Jaylen Brown won that MVP, not Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
A lot of guys get their shots, get their flowers on that team. You start going down the list. Like, when's the last time a bona fide led by a guy? Maybe that Raptors team with that Kawhi run, but Kawhi is a 2-way player anyway.
Yeah, and they were deep. I mean, they had Lowry, Green, Siakam. They had what's his name giving them good minutes. That Gasol, Mark. They had OG Anunoby coming off the bench. They had Norman Powell, who's right now bona fide, damn near star on the Clippers. That team was so much deeper than, but Kawhi was great in that run. So yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's weird. The NBA's just moving. It's hard to keep track of what's the winning formula.
Friggin' FIBA, dude. That's what it looks like it's winning in the playoffs is that FIBA ball.
Yeah.
Got Euros that know how to pass and cut and play defense
and
do all that stuff.
And play through contact and not soft and just rage bait for fouls. No, you're 100% right. So moving forward, I think Shai Gilgeous-Alexander right now is the MVP. What do you think about
Interesting.
that?
You know what? To be honest, I've been so football oriented. I don't have a great case to make for anybody else.
Okay, I'll go real quick just to give you my thoughts. So Jokic
Yeah.
is the best player in the world.
Yes.
And I think you should, why he isn't the MVP is the same reason why LeBron doesn't have 8.
Right.
So, and Shea, I think it was either last night or the night before, literally dominated and took over the game against the Celtics and won by 15. But it was an insane performance. It was.
I saw the press conference from him where he said, "Yeah, I'm pretty good at basketball," which I appreciated.
Yeah, I mean, he's a little cocky. He does it in his own way, and I'm like, dude, right now you're as good as it comes. So say what you want, do what you.
I'll be honest. I love to hate this friggin' Thunder team. I love to hate them. I don't actually hate them. Like I just find them fun. But like I am not a part of it. I'm not one of them at all. I think that Chet commercial is the dumbest thing in the world. I think I was a Chet fader. I've been very low on most Gonzaga players coming out, him especially. I'm just like, whatever, dude. Whatever. We'll see. He's been pretty good. Jay's good. Me likey Caruso on this team. I think he's the perfect kind of wily vet, kind of gamer.
Dude, they have a lot of players over there and just like random guys. Like they have a guy like those Isaiah Joe. They have another Andrew Wiggins who's like, I guess, the Walmart of the real Andrew Wiggins. Like they just have these sneaky players that just catch and shoot. Dort, he's built like a fucking weak side linebacker to go rush the quarterback, but instead he's guarding you 94 feet up and down the court.
So Dort's interesting because Dort's one of the few dogs on that team. Hartenstein a little bit's got some dog to him, a little fight. But Dort's got to give you good offense for them to be good. Because I still in a 7-game series, I feel would find myself betting on the Nuggets and Mavericks.
And that's super fair. And I agree with you. That's the tough part. I mean, they're 30-5 right now. They're 30-5. That's legit. I mean,
we have what, 2 or 3 teams right now who are trying to win 70 games. It feels like between the Celtics, Thunder, and
Cavs.
Who else is going off right now?
Cavs. Yeah. No. So I mean, those teams.
So that's another guy that belongs in the conversation, right?
Who?
Is Donovan Mitchell?
See, and that's the thing. No, because the emergence of Evan Mobley, who's absolutely a baller right now. Kenny Atkinson is their head coach, and he's developed this kid to be. He's taken the leap. He's taken the leap this year. He's
Mobley
good
at USC.
Yeah,
I loved him since I found out about him. I think he's just such a classic good basketball player. He exists in every single era. He's awesome. Big fan of Mobley.
Yeah, he's a beast. But yeah, I mean the Cavs, Celtics, Thunder, they're definitely the top. They're the top of the league right now. All right, moving on a little bit. Oh, and just talking about the West. I mean, the Thunder, they're 30-5, clearly the top. But the 2 through 10th seed, Jack, second seed right now is the Rockets, who just beat the Lakers. That was an upsetting game, but I don't even want to talk about it.
After a couple back-to-backs.
Yeah, exactly. But the second seed through the 10th seed is all within 5.5 games of each other. Lakers are at 5th seed, tied with the Mavericks and the Clippers, who are 6 and 7, down at 20 and 15. And that leads into my question. I'm like, with the claw returning, Kawhi Leonard, can the Clippers win a playoff series when they make it? Because right now they're 20 and 15 when they haven't had him.
Dude, it's going to be a very interesting trade deadline because I feel like 5 of these teams, 6 of these teams are one piece away from getting really good. Like I'm still kind of in on this Laker team. I think one guy, like Shake Milton, can't be getting big time minutes as the primary ball handler.
Yeah,
Shake Milton can get 9 minutes as a 3-and-D guy. That's it.
Yeah,
but you bring in Trae Young and move some of these pieces.
Trae Young's a lot of money. The problem is trying to have the contracts match up with AD and LeBron. You want to still have depth because you don't want to gas out LeBron. He's damn near a senior citizen. And so I feel like you got to get rid of Vincent, and they haven't moved on their first round picks yet, which was huge in that Dorian Finney-Smith trade, who, by the way, has looked great so far as a Laker. He's legit. Shake, it's a little tough start, but they had a lot of guards in Brooklyn, so he didn't get any playing time. So this is like his first game reps. So honestly, I think he'll be a playable piece. I don't want to give up on him just yet. But
Give
yeah,
me a guard, Lance.
I think we need a 5. I think we need I want Valanciunas.
Well,
That name I
think the
keep
5
bringing
as
it
well.
up. Valanciunas.
I was having this conversation with a buddy. I think we're a player and a half short. It's either a good 5 and a suitable guard, what we thought we were getting in Gabe Vincent, or it's a great guard at Trae Young and just something better than Jackson Hayes.
Yeah, I mean Jackson Hayes. He is what he is. He's Jackson Hayes.
He is what he is.
But yeah, I used to
tell me he's JaVale McGee. He's not even close.
No. JaVale McGee was actually. I mean, say what you will, he had a lot of dork plays on the court. Guy was a hooper. Guy was a freak.
You avoid having some dork plays as a
yeah.
guy who's on a vegan diet. Do your best. Are you kidding me? Shaquille O'Neal ruined that guy's career. He should have made $100 million more.
I know. Freaking Shaq, man. What a guy. All right. Here's the last topic, Jack, and I just want you to listen to me. I want to hear your thoughts. Tell me what you think. So there's recent rumbles over in Fox Sports. Some might say they're in shambles. So Skip Bayless has been named in a lawsuit, big lawsuit, and one of the details was that he offered a hairstylist $1.5 million to have sex with him. In this same lawsuit, it's listed that Joy Taylor had sexual relations with 7 of the top people at Fox Sports and was basically heard telling whoever I don't know who the person is in the lawsuit, the plaintiff, but basically saying that's how she was climbing her ladder to get on the shows and basically be a name in Fox Sports. I don't know how much thought you could have, but isn't that goddamn crazy?
Absolutely crazy. I'm waiting a week to rush to judgment. I got a buddy who works for Fox Sports, and he told me Joy Taylor's awesome. Cool chick.
Oh, cool chick.
Now, maybe this factors into some of that, but that's what I've heard over the years. And I actually think whether or not that had something to do with her getting her job, I think she's better than a lot of other people that have the same job.
So that was it. So I was going to ask you, I'm like, so when you see females now in the sports industry and they're on the screen and all these things, and this has only come out about Joy Taylor, do you think there's any theme or anything in this industry, or is this just a one freak show? We don't want to touch it.
I think it could be a theme in every single industry. I don't think it's exclusive to sports. Also, we want to talk about sexualizing Joy Taylor on camera. Let's talk about Jesse Palmer's pants. I'll talk about Joy Taylor's top when we talk about Jesse Palmer's pants. I'd rather Jesse Palmer went up a waist size before we started changing Joy Taylor's shirts. It's the least of my problems.
Oh my God. I mean, there's clips back in 2016. They have like a picture of Shannon Sharpe and a young Joy Taylor at like a Dodger game. And Skip Bayless like joked saying they were on a date or something. And there's like other scenes they were doing like a cutaway for a halftime show. A guy's like jokingly trying to take snaps. Said, all right, you snap the ball. She's in like a dress. It's all fun. And, I guess it's jokes. Looking back, you never think twice. Now they're all resurfacing with all these details. And I'm like, man, that's just... So how do you even... So is her career over? Maybe we're diving too much into things that aren't that important, but this is diabolical. 7 dudes.
Some careers are going to take hits here. It's amazing to me. And I like Shannon, damn good football player, and he's wildly entertaining. But yeah. How has he not lost his job yet? If this is as scandalous as it is, the guy live streamed himself banging some poor girl up against the headboard. Jesus Christ.
Oh, Fox Sports has a lot going on. A lot of turmoil. You say what you will about ESPN. They might be the CNN of sports, but they don't have reports like this coming out. They don't. Fox Sports. Yet. You're right. So this is crazy. I wanted to bring it up. I mean, that's just, it's hilarious to me. I got Tom in the waiting room. Ready to bring him on?
Heck yeah, bring him on.
There he is. Tom, can you hear us?
Yes. Can you all hear me?
Yep, we can hear you. Any way you could turn your camera on and get it horizontal so we can see your beautiful face?
Yeah, give me a second.
Oh, all good. Good.
Turn a light on.
We were just talking about Joy Taylor and Skip Bayless and those allegations. Have you heard about those, Tom?
Yeah, we don't have to drag Tom through the Tom.
Only
I feel like
I
you got to pick a side on that one. That's we
do
don't talk
not.
politics with you.
Oh, did Skip Bayless like say something about Joy Taylor or something?
No,
there's a
there's
big lawsuit going around.
lawsuit going on.
Yeah.
Dude, there he
Okay.
is.
There
So-
he is, our guy. Yeah, you're still vertical though. Can you turn it horizontal?
Okay.
There we go. There's our
Like
guy.
this?
Fantastic. Dude, hey, Thomas, first of all, thank you so much for coming on, dude. I so appreciate it. You're the man for doing it.
Well, I am the star of the show, aren't I?
Yeah, you
Exactly
absolutely are. There you go.
I'm catching Lance and the audience up here a little bit. Tom just came around and fucked around this weekend and quickly won a quick $1,000, a cool G as we call it here. And he followed it, or he did that 2 weeks ago, and then came in this weekend and did it again, and followed it up with another 1,000, winning 500 in the pick'em and another 500 in the Parlay Royale. Thomas, it brings your overall winnings up $4,000. How are we feeling, dude?
I didn't know it was that much. I mean, I just am a guy that picks and sees if they win.
So, do you have any method to your madness, or are you kind of just winging it?
Absolutely not. I just pick picks, and if they win, they win, and if they don't, they don't. I mean, if I'm being honest, not to be sour or anything, but I definitely should have gotten 1,000 in the Parlay Royale, but Jamar Chase just had to keep getting yards in that game. That pissed me off, but that's how it goes.
Hey,
And then
so
the other
goes.
week, I should have gotten the 2,000 in the main event, but I can't remember what happened there, but something happened that was kind of BS, but that's just how it goes. To be fair, though, if Notre Dame didn't foul the three-point shooter and they were up 3 with 4 seconds left, I wouldn't have even won that 500, so you got to count your blessings where you can take them.
That's the parlay game. Sometimes you catch the great luck, and sometimes you get burned in ways you never knew imaginable.
Yeah, that's, well, I have had many of those. I'll just say this. Last year, in the Wisconsin-Nebraska game, it was at Nebraska. I needed Wisconsin to win. This was on I was on ESPN Bet or something. I can't remember. But they were up 18 at half, and if they would have won, I would have gotten, I think it was $8,500, and then they lost. So
Oh, God.
yeah.
Oh my
that's,
God! So
that's one of
bad
the
beats.
really bad beats. Oh, I know bad beats like no.
Oh my! So how long have you been on Wanna Parlay?
I was referred back in the summer. That's back when y'all had the I don't know if it was like a beta test or what it was, but yeah.
Yeah, it was all free play still at the time.
Yeah.
The early days.
I never got any money. I never won anything ever. And then when it becomes pay to play, I don't know. It's
You got.
I don't know what we're gonna call it. I don't know if it's luck. I don't know if it's skill. I don't know what it is. But I know that I see a lot of the same people winning a lot. So
There's some
Yeah,
sharks out there, Thomas. There's some sharks that are absolutely just winning on the left and right. There's a guy named Dialed Picks up over
dialed
20.
picks. I was gonna say it. Dialed picks every time.
That guy like you, I expected him to come on and be like, yeah, I've been professionally sports gambling for years. He's like, no, just picked it up, having fun. He's up 23 grand right now.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
But dude, you're up 4K. You're slowly but surely graduating to your own little Mount Rushmore here. We don't have that many people that high up on the board.
yeah, it's yeah, I don't know. It's a weird. I like how y'all do it. I like that. I was talking to my buddy that referred me. And I was just saying, like, it's cool how you can make your own stuff and then win like your own, but then if you do better than other people, you win more money. So like it incentivizes you to make longer shot parlays.
Yeah, and you're always making above what you'd make anywhere else at a casino or something like that. So if you're going to be placing that type of action anyway, the low risk, high reward stuff, it's really the best ways to come get that action.
Yeah, no, that's the way I see it too. I mean, yeah, I like it's cool with the main event and the Parlay Royale how you can make whatever bets you want, and then with the pick 'em 4, 5, 6, and 7, you gotta have some sort of underdog to it, which makes sense. It's I don't know. I'm still waiting on getting over 100 points on a parlay in the main event, but maybe in due time.
Yeah.
So would you recommend this app to have you recommended this app to any of your other friends?
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I was thinking about sending that. I was thinking about recommending it to a couple dudes, like literally just yesterday, and I think I probably will. There not really is well, I'll say this: they probably wouldn't step foot in the $50 one because that's just who they are. But
Hey,
you know,
the main event is good enough for anyone. I mean that stuff is
That's
fun,
true.
right? There's a lot of spots to get paid. Usually, I mean, we still to this day, I don't think I've had a contest that completely filled it out. So there's just money out there waiting for people to grab it.
It honestly is. Like, I mean, if that's who does this podcast reach? Like, who is this generally for? Like, just regular people just stumbling upon it, or is this already for users, or like, what is this for?
It's for everyone and beyond.
Users, but it's for everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's anybody out there that's not on the app that's listening to this. If there is, I would say to get on the app. I mean, Taco said it himself. Like, there's money just sitting there. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I mean, it really is. It's unbelievable to me because we're trying to get this secret out there a little bit, but it literally is just free money. I mean, I bet you came in, placed your money, and got the deposit match. Or I guess you were in early before the free play. So I don't know if you ever took advantage of the deposit match.
I did.
But
Yeah, I did.
So I bet since the deposit match, you've never put money back into it. You've just played with house money and winnings.
The only time that I would put money in is if I was like trying to hedge stuff that I already had going, kind of.
Yeah, I gotcha. And then you
But
brought
yeah.
up the Parlay Royale. A bunch of people come in, play the little free play game you get for $40 a night. You play a little bit of the pick'ems, a little bit of the main event. All of a sudden, you mess around and win $400. Then you go get yourself in the Parlay Royale and start climbing up the board a little bit. That's how I've seen it, at least.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's I mean, I don't know if I am supposed to say this, but like, I mean, it's if people want to make money, it's there. Like, I mean,
Hey, you said it better than I could have. If you want to make money, it's there.
Hey,
that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why, like, when I was invited to be on here, I'll talk this app up. I promise you. I don't know if y'all need sponsors or what, but I will.
You'll scream it from the mountaintops. Everybody!
I'm saying, man, for real. Like, I'm not even like, like, I don't even know about shit. Like y'all are talking about Skip Bayless and Joy Taylor or whatever her name is. Like,
Yeah.
I know that those are just the talking heads, but like, I don't follow any of that stuff. The only stuff that I really care about is college sports. So like, it kind of sucks that college football is winding up, but that's where college basketball comes in.
Dude, I was going to say in your parlay, I was like, I think you and me are going to be fast friends. I was going through it. You had Ivy League college hoops on there. You had action on the Southern Illinois Salukis, which I just can't get enough of. You had a Jawan Jennings under. And then you had 2 picks on the Division III National Championship for Stag Bowl.
I actually got a story about a couple of those. So I actually went to Illinois State. So like,
go Redbirds.
I actually went to that game.
Heck yeah.
And then my cousin plays. He's not on North Central's. He's on their JV roster. Yeah. But I've heard that North Central just kills everybody. So it wasn't looking good until that fourth quarter touchdown. But
yeah, you're at 28-25 there late, and all of a sudden they came back. I should point out it was you, me, and friends and family watching this game, and I don't know who else, but I loved every second of it. I love the Stag Bowl.
Yeah, it's I'm a Lions fan too, so that was a night last night.
That was a good little Sunday for you. Are you watching the FCS championship by chance tonight? You gonna watch Montana State, North Dakota State?
Well, considering I have under 58.5, I might as well, right?
There you go. Good.
I don't really like the under 58.5, but it's got to go over. It's got to go under. So
well, tragically, I was going to make a case later in the show why it had to go over. Now you're the guy that's coming off.
No, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. If I say that it's going under, it's probably going over. I promise. Dude, that's probably better for you.
Wait, you're here because you're a winner.
Yeah.
Dumb luck stumbling right into it, I promise.
You won over $1,000 this weekend. I lost something close to that. So I think we might be flipping our thing here.
To be fair, you don't see my action on other sites. So
Yeah, it's true.
it's
That's true.
it's the betting machine giveth, the betting machine taketh away.
Yep.
Exactly right. Well, it's just a testament. If you want to lose, you go to the other sites. If you want to win, you come to Want to Parlay.
Look, I mean, I'll say it. I'll say that. I can say that. If people want to get money, get on Want to Parlay. I mean, that's all I can say. Like it's
Very last question then before we let you go.
Yeah.
Because we've been talking so much about money. You're now up over 4K. You made $2,000 the last 2 weekends on Want to Parlay. Where's this money getting spent? Where are you going on vacation?
I am putting pretty much anything that I make to my mortgage payment. So
Good to be good.
Hey,
You're homeowner.
smart guy. Smart guy.
I mean, I'll tell y'all, I don't even got a job right now. So like,
Hey, your job is winning at Wana.
Yeah, you're making more than Lantz and I make. I didn't make $1,000 this weekend.
well, hey fellas, it's don't be surprised if you never see my name on the leaderboard again.
Whoa, we're gonna see you.
Whoa,
We have
hey.
belief. I believe in you. God believes in you, and Jack believes in you. And that's
I'll tell
that's a
our
pretty
audience,
good trio.
Don't be surprised when you're back on the show next week and we're having the same discussion.
Hey, if I win the main event, I'll hop on again.
There we go.
There we
then
go.
I'll be in Punta Cana at that
We'll
point.
get out to Chicago. We'll meet you at Little Joe's down there and go have a blast.
Hey, just hit me up.
Yes,
You got
sir.
it.
Hey,
Yes,
and
sir.
also, I would say, without knowing any sort of information about the circumstances, I would say that Skip Bayless is in the wrong.
Hey, trust me,
That's
you
usually a
should
good
just go
bet.
look it up. Just go look up Skip Bayless right now, and you'll see he's very much in the wrong.
Okay.
Hey.
I trust that.
And thank you for joining us, dude. You're an absolute legend. We wish you the best. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So good to
Maybe.
meet you.
Maybe.
If people want cash, jump on Wana.
I love
Legend.
it, dude.
Awesome.
You're the man for coming on. So appreciate it.
Take care, fellas. Have a good rest of y'all's night.
You
Take
as
it
well.
easy.
Thank you, buddy. What a guy. What a legend.
It's good when you get the good guys, isn't it?
Yeah.
What a fucking winner that guy is. That guy is fucking aces. That's awesome.
That's
you know
good.
how you can tell, too? I solicit everybody to come on for a fucking interview. When they respond within 30 minutes, they're excited to come on, you feel good about it.
Yeah. You know there's going to be a little fire coming out of that end. I mean, that's good stuff. That was what a guy. Tom, absolute legend.
That guy should have his own show, by the way. I like his disposition.
What a
I
funny
pick picks, man. I pick picks.
What a funny guy. He's just like, I don't have any strategy. I just go in and make picks.
I pick picks, man. Speaking of picking picks, you want to pick some picks?
Yeah, let's pick our picks and run on out.
Okay, I just talked about FCS Championship. We got to hustle because the game starts in 16 minutes. Right now, everybody, open up your Want to Parlay app and get all of this information. I am king of mud football. This is the FCS Championship. Here we go. Montana State. This line, I think, on a lot of books has moved to 4. I don't know what it is on Wana currently, but it's Montana State minus 3.5 or 4. I don't care about the half point. Take the 4 versus North Dakota State in the FCS National Championship tonight. The Cats have been the team all year. They enter the game, Lantz 15-0 on the season, coming off a 14-point win in the semifinal. They were the 1 seed going into the playoffs. In fairness, North Dakota State dominated FCS football for years, going back to like 2010. And they're looking to retake their place on the mantle, whereas Montana State trying to win their first championship since 1984 when it was still Division II football, not D1 AA. Or FCS as we know it now. North Dakota State comes in as 13-2. Their 2 losses, Colorado in the opening game of the season, if you guys remember that one that went down to the wire. And then South Dakota. Important to note, though, South Dakota is who Montana State just played in the semis. Cats beat them by 14. So as we look at both these teams, and as everyone wants to go brand sometime in this game, and we know that Carson Wentz and Trey Lance and North Dakota State have been great for a long time, Montana State, if you don't watch FCS football, has been this good since 2018, and Troy Anderson got there, and they started rolling. 3 of their coaches have been promoted and are at big-time jobs across the country. Brett Vegan was this close to getting the Washington State job this year. I think Coach Vegan and Tommy Mellott, their starting quarterback, are going to have their best game tonight. Tommy Mellott, by the way, Lance, I talked about him last week when we took him over South Dakota. They covered that game, by the way. Absolute stud. Everyone needs to remember this name for the future. He just won the Walter Payton Award, which is the best offensive player in FCS football. It's basically their Heisman Award. He's from Butte, Montana, Lantz, which is a home of absolute rugged people and psychos.
Woo.
That's where Evil Knievel's from. I've spent just 3 hours in Butte, Montana, and I already feel like more of a man and tougher. And that's the home to Neuheisel kid. He's thrown for 29 touchdowns, 2,500 yards on the year. He's going to go over 1,000 yards rushing on the season tonight, 14 rushing touchdowns. He's slated to have 2. He's also a 4.0 engineering student, Lantz. I got him playing receiver in the NFL. He's 6 foot 190, Tommy Malott, and taking his overs, 177.5 passing, over 94.5 rushing tonight. And with that being said, I'm also taking over 58.5 points on the game. It's a weird number for 2 historically physical defenses. That 58.5 sounds like a ton, but we got 2 great quarterbacks in their last college football game ever. A lot of explosives in this game, and both teams are playing in good weather for the first time in a long time, getting to go play in Frisco, Texas tonight. Over 58.5, Montana State minus 3.5 or 4, and any Tommy Malott over you can get tonight. All of them I'm feeling really good about.
Wow. It feels like you just told me the future. You told me the truth. I believe you. You called it out last week. The Tommy Malott guy. You called him the what is it? Julian Edelman. He's the next.
Yeah,
Julian Edelman.
I hate getting stuck making.
Well, and that wouldn't make sense because that wouldn't make sense.
He was a quarterback
at a small time school. Yeah,
a mobile quarterback at Kent State, and then got drafted as a receiver. I think the same thing for Tommy Malott. I think a bunch of guys from Montana have gone on to have very successful careers, both Montana and Montana State. And I think from this year on, it's been all about North Dakota, South Dakota for the last couple of years in FCS football. I think the championship goes through the state of Montana for the foreseeable future, be it at State or in Missoula with my Grizzlies.
Hey, let's go. Fire up Montana State. I believe it. I'm bought in. And the rest of you in the chat, you should buy in too. KG Little Joe's popped in. He says, what's up, gents? Thought this would be renamed for 2025 the Dowd Picks podcast. Honestly, it might. That's still into consideration. A lot of things.
Make enough, we'd have to pay Dowd Picks some royalties, or maybe he'd have to pay us, and then we could make sense of it. But yeah.
We're still in negotiations on that one. I mean, this guy, Dowd Picks, it's just a Hall of Famer. I'm going in for my picks tonight. I'm just going one parlay. I made it on Wana. You can go check it out, Taco Lantz. It's a 44.14 point multiplier on Wana. That'll get me somewhere decently on the leaderboard. Now, if you all tail this, we'd all be tied, so it'd be pretty dumb. So at least add 1 to be better than me. Paul George, over 16.5 points. They're playing the Suns. I think Paul George tends to try to show up a little more when he's playing against guys like Kevin Durant and those. Yeah, he plays when stars are there. Embiid, over 9.5 rebounds. I like this one because he is playing more now after all the weird start to their season and the problems with Nurkic and all that. I don't know who their big guy is. I feel like there's a big advantage for the 76ers in the paint. Next, I got Cade Cunningham, over 31.5 points and rebounds. I know it seems weird to take only points and rebounds with Cade Cunningham, but they're playing the Trailblazers. I expect him to just have 30 points alone, and the guy's like an automatic at least 5 to 7 rebounds. So I like it. Next, I got Tyrese Halliburton, over 8.5 assists. He's a scary guy to bet on because it feels like he can just have such shitters. But big thing about Halliburton, he's coming back from an injury. I think it was from last year, but his confidence is getting better. The Pacers are getting better. And they're playing a Nets team that's honestly just looking to be bad. But with that being said, the Nets still have players with Cam Thomas and Cam Johnson both out. I like D'Lo over 7.5 assists only because the Pacers don't play defense. The Nets don't play defense. There's just going to be a lot of made shots. Next, Cat over 22.5 points. They're playing the Magic. Magic are beat up. Cat's just a beast. They're playing against that undersized 6'10". I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but he's just a shaggy ragtag dude. Props to him. He's been a good center, but I think Cat clears his 22.5 points. And that is the parlay. There it is.
I'll lay off any Cat criticism. I've been pretty much wrong about the Knicks all year. Paul George over 16.5. Love the logic. Love the matchup for him. Obviously, you're getting a weird sun spot here tonight You could expect a little just gamesmanship between him and Kevin Durant. Embiid over 9.5 rebounds occasionally makes me nervous. Sometimes even more so when there's not a true 5, because I think then the only way you play him is you kind of slag off him a little bit and let him exist at the perimeter. And he's a guy that likes to settle for a lot of shots. 7'1", 300 pounds, and the guy just seems to want to be Wemby. And I don't quite get it. Cunningham over 31.5 points and rebounds, sure. Got nothing bad to say about it. Halliburton over 8.5 assists, love it. To your point, the Pacers started sleepy, now are starting to play good basketball, him especially. And I think against games like this that they should win. Is the game in Brooklyn or is it?
It is in Brooklyn, but I mean,
okay.
They don't have. They're bad.
No, not that Brooklyn has home energy. Just the fact that Indiana has such good home energy.
Hey, and I've been there for one of those games. That's real.
But in games like this, I feel like Halliburton, he's one of the last true point guards and wannabe distributor first guys. So want to get guys involved, want to start jumpstarting, get some confidence in some guys. Expect Siakam to have a big night. I like the 8.5 assists. I actually feel better about that than I do some other stuff. And then D'Lo is my favorite pick on here. I think it could be kind of a vintage D'Lo evening because he's been unable to play the guy that he was at Ohio State, maybe ever in his career, with the exception of his one stint on the Nets, where all of a sudden he kind of had it back and was an all-star, where he really gets to be the floor general because he's got his own pace of play, and he really is a good playmaker, but the offense has to move at his speed for it to be effective. Like, he's got a weird, he wants to set that high pick and get guys kind of on his back at the top of the key and then slowly play it down from there. And I feel like it was a complete misfit on the Lakers. We asked him to be a three-point guy, whereas LeBron's kind of the setup man. So I think this is going to be a fun little vintage game for D'Lo. I'm going to look at a couple of his numbers tonight.
No, 100%. You made a great point how he comes off that high pick and roll and he kind of has the player to his back. And that is
to play him on his back.
Yeah, no, and that's great basketball, but that just would never work on a LeBron team.
No, because then you're asking LeBron to be the kind of standstill guy, whereas there's so much start and stop with D'Lo's game, and it's so much two-man ball with that high pick and roll, and then you're looking to find shooters.
The weak side defender that comes out,
I love it for D'Lo tonight, and fortunately, the NBA just moved away from that. We're just the half court offense just isn't quite that right now for D'Lo. It's just wrong guy, wrong time in the NBA.
Yeah, and he's also pretty inefficient. He made a lot of money. He's kind of done. I don't really see. I think he had that run with the Lakers, like this most recent one. They got close. Western Conference Finals. I mean, they were there, and now I think D'Lo's going to just kind of hang out. He's not worried about a championship anymore. He's just going to try to ball. He's still going to hoop, but it's not. Yeah, I think
he embraces it.
Yeah, I hope he embraces it. I hope that too. I hope the no pressure kind of just go out there, free hoop, the season. I think he'll play a lot better. I think he does a lot better in those situations.
You're talking about a guy. He was the number 2 overall pick. He's been an all-star. He's going to end up averaging over 15 in his career. It's a nice little quality career. Just go off, start a podcast, be Jeff Teague.
Yep, exactly. Why not? All right. Well, I'm just going to run through mine real quick so I can hear it a little better. Paul George over 16.5 points, Embiid over 9.5 rebounds, Cunningham over 31.5 points and rebounds, Halliburton over 8.5 assists, D'Lo over 7.5 assists, Cat over 22.5 points, and watch the money go into your bank account. All right. Want to hit us with the outro, Jack?
Let's go outro. I'm going to speed through this as fast as I can so everyone can go get those FCS bets if they're hanging on with us and make sure they lock your parlay in before these NBA games tip. The show is brought to you by Wanna Parlay, home of the $2 parlay and the world's richest parlay, where every day people are turning $2 into $2,000 and walking out the door. Reminder to the people of California, Wanna Parlay is the only place in the state of California where you can legally bet and win on spreads, money lines, and over-unders. So if you're a California resident, you got friends in California, get the secret out. Everyone in California, literally everybody should be betting on this. Not only is it the only place you can legally win, but it's the only betting platform in the friggin' universe. So you can't get into a gigantic hole, but you can go make $20,000 in 2 months, like our boy Dial Picks. Tons of special shout outs this week. Our guy Cade, Dial Picks, hoping to get him on the show later this week. The guy wins 2K again this weekend. He's now up 23K on the platform. It's getting to be pretty dang absurd. Like our boy KG just said, we may look into changing the podcast name just to Dial Picks. Viviana. I'm waiting to see if this is a burner account or a real person, but that's the name that's associated with dialed picks or with long legs. Long legs has been crushing. They won $1,450 this week. Now up 11K on the platform, so they've entered into this 10K purple jacket type realm. So interested to hear back from Viviana. Hopefully get her on the show. Thomas, we just heard from Tom in 27. Go check out his stuff. He's on the under tonight. The guy won more money than I did this weekend, so maybe take his word for it. But I don't know. I feel pretty good about it. And then Eric, a guy we're definitely going to have scheduled up for this, the winner of the main event. He won 2K this week, now up 7K all time. Big time stuff, Eric. That's eSunny22 if you're looking to tail some picks. And then one more time, a special message from our guy KG at Little Joe's in Chicago. We are about 1 month away from the drop takeover at Little Joe's. It's back and bigger than ever. Arthur and Bob are behind the bar pouring drinks and swapping stories. Meanwhile, KG is in the kitchen whipping up his famous jambalaya beef sandwiches and those insane Taylor Street sliders. That's featuring some ground Italian sausage topped with Italian beef. Jesus Christmas, KG, go off. El Bandito Tequila will be in the building, as will the good folks of Wanna Parlay. Possibly Lance and I will look into booking flights. February 10th from 4 p.m. to 2 a.m. Make sure you get a couple hours of that if you're in the Chicago area or possibly just in the continental United States. It is worth getting your ass over there, downloading Wanna Parlay, winning some money, drinking some tequila, having a slider or 9 of them, hanging with Lance and I and KG and the boys in the bar. And another reminder to everybody in our audience, because that's basically the end of that promo. Just want to get this out there. We're going to be trying to make sure we're featuring an interview every time. Every episode, we reach out to 4 or 5 good users of Wanna Parlay, and it's just tough sometimes scheduling and getting people to come on. If you've been one of our regulars or you just pop in from time to time in the chat or on just in the audience, please come on. Shoot us a text in the chat. Get in touch with us at the Wanna platform. We can schedule an interview or you can just come on to talk for 2 minutes about whatever we're talking about. We love having you guys on. It makes for great content. We're going to be posting this stuff on the Instagram. We're going to have some fun. So make sure if you're with us, come on whenever you get the chance. We'd love to have you.
100%. And that is all from us, folks. And like Jack was saying, join the show. We want to talk to you. We want to hear your thoughts and what you think and what goes into your mind when you gamble.
Need more Thomases. We got one. We need 100 just like him.
Yep. And we just want to keep growing this community because the great people who want to parlay are great. But that'll be all for today's show. We'll be back tomorrow about 3 p.m. Pacific time. And we will see you guys then. Salute.